It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Well, folks, they needed $1,025,000 to help many people in Schuylkill County. And the organization is Schuylkill United Way. Yes, one of the few United Wayers that I know of that have actually obtained their goal. What does the United Way do? What's it involved with? And how does it help many thousands of people? Today, I have Patrick Kane, who is the board chair, and we have Jeffrey Wesner, who is the chairman of the 2014 campaign, and they obtained their goal. First of all, congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you, Sam.
That is really a nice achievement in today's economy, today's world. Today, it's pretty interesting. But before we get into the campaign and talk about the great things, let's talk about United Way itself. Okay, some people, they hear the United Way. When you're involved with something, if you're in an agency and you're getting help or you're doing something, you know what United Way does. Many people heard of United Way. They don't really know fully exactly what the United Way does to help the community. So let's start with you, Patrick. Well, there's 30 members on the board, right?
Correct.
Okay.
30 members.
So what does the United Way do?
Well, we in Schuylkill County serve 15 agencies, and a lot of folks know us from maybe the television commercials you see on the NFL games, and a lot of people know we raise money. But what we do in Schuylkill County is we hold an annual campaign through the fall, and we use that money to then benefit the 15 agencies that we serve in Schuylkill County. So through the year, we have different projects to help different agencies, to help different groups. But I think one of our main responsibilities is the fall campaign, so we can then help allocate money to the agencies we serve in Schuylkill County.
So there's 15 agencies, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to help you to a test here. What are the agencies? Now you get you get an extra $1,000 if you get this right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. We got Big Brothers Big Sisters, Avenues, Tamaqua Meals on Wheels, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Child Development, Schuylkill Wellness Center. Help me, Patrick.
The Schuylkill Women in Crisis. There's a sexual assault and rape center. There's also did you mention the Tamaqua Meals on Wheels?
The YMCA of Tamaqua and Pottsville.
And also of Tamaqua. And then you've got the two Salvations, one in Tamaqua and one in Pottsville. And then you've got Child Development, which is a pre-K Head Start program.
We got them all?
I think
we
so.
got them all.
You get them all? Oh.
$1,000, please.
Kelly has it. She's in number 2. When you're listening to those agencies, okay, the reason why I wanted to mention them is because you look at maybe Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and you look at the Women in Crisis, and you look at all the things that that really help fund a lot of the good things. Throughout the agencies that you service, are they funded appropriately, or how do you know who gets what from your money?
We have an allocation committee, which is made up of about 17 individuals that we meet after the campaign is over, and we analyze, and once we know how much we're able to allocate to the agencies, we go through a very intensive decision-making process as far as how much we give to each of the agencies. And we take into many different factors into that process as far as how many residents they service throughout the year, as well as how much does the United Way campaign, how much do they rely on our campaign to support those programs. Those are the two real big factors that we use as a committee to decide how much they get allocated.
And if there's an organization that, let's say they have a goal of so many people they could service, but let's assume they're getting more than that, okay? Does United Way make any allocations for that? For example, if my organization is servicing 100 people and there's a demand for maybe another 50 or 200 people, I would need more funding. Does the committee take that into organization?
Well, the committee receives information from each of our 15 agencies every year, what they need for the next coming year. It's substantiated based on what they've done in the past year, what the trends have been. And you're exactly right, Sam. Unfortunately, the need is going to continue to grow with the economy we're in. And the other slippery slope is that while we were very successful in our campaign, our agencies continue to have some challenges financially because the state and federal funding has disappeared to a large extent. So this campaign, in my mind, becomes even more important. And as you said, we have to look at what each agency's need are and then try and help them as most as we can.
I ask this question to people who are involved with boards who give of their time. Now, Patrick, you're an insurance man. Jeffrey, you're a banker. We won't hold that against you, okay?
Thank you.
I won't, yeah. Particularly if you give me that good interest rate that I need.
That's right.
We'll talk, we'll get Ken's approval.
Yeah, we'll talk off camera.
Why, Patrick, you have your own business, and today, you got to stay at your business and work at it. Why did you get involved with United Way? I mean, you're not getting paid for it. Why did you get involved with United?
The Schuylkill United Way is a completely volunteer organization for our board members and all those who help us. I was just telling the ladies in the front office that I moved up from the Washington, D.C. area and fortunately found Schuylkill County through my work. And it was the first time I'd really developed a personal sense of community. I wasn't a number of 3 million, one of 3 million in D.C. I was part of an important community. And then I also had the fortune of bumping into one of our board members at the time, Miss Billy Payne, who encouraged me to get involved. And fortunately, I listened to her good advice. And so for the last 15 years, I've been involved in some way. I think it's important for all of us, regardless of what we do, either busy insurance individuals, bankers, television stars like yourself.
Oh, thanks.
And it's important to give back because there are people out there who need us, but the need is also growing. And then to be a little selfish, I'll say that the feeling of giving back, the feeling of contributing to that sense of community, as I said, is important to me. And so I think there's a lot of reasons, and everyone will find their own.
And Jeffrey, why did you get involved with the United Way?
Well, I've been involved with United Way. I actually am originally from Berks County and relocated up to Schuylkill County about 15 years ago, and I was involved with the Berks County United Way. But what touched me most with United Way in Schuylkill County is I personally have utilized 2 of the agencies, which makes it even more of a special impact on myself. My daughter, we utilized the Schuylkill County Crippled Children's Society for some issues she had with her legs, which was a phenomenal agency that helped me out tremendously, and the other one was the Girl Scouts. But it goes deeper than that. It's all about the sense of pride and giving back to those that are a little less fortunate than us, and that's what it means to me.
You see, and when you, as I said in the beginning, when you're involved with an agency that's getting funding from United Way, you see the immediate results. For those people who just know of United Way, may not understand if they don't use them. And hopefully, other than in a good way, they would use United Way, one of the agencies. And you find that United Way touches thousands of people, okay? What's more special than your daughter or your son or a family member, okay? So when you go out there and people who are contributing United Way, which incidentally, you can still contribute. I mean, it doesn't, if you haven't given any, thing to United Way folks, you can still do it. Because believe me, I tell you, even though you set a goal, you always could use much more than the goal, And I always find that interesting that people who get involved, why do they get involved? Okay, it's not for selfish interests, other than, like you said, giving back something to the community. Would you encourage other people to get involved in the United Way, Jeffrey?
Absolutely. One of the most heart-wrenching things you can do is go to visit one of those 15 agencies and see firsthand what the benefits of the United Way, what we do, and what they provide back to the community. That's when you really understand the importance of those 15 agencies. And as you mentioned, right now we're up to about 75% of all Schuylkill County residents who use one of those agencies.
Is that right?
Which those numbers have bumped up over the last 2 to 3 years from 50% up to 75%. And I'm going to say unfortunately, but fortunately also, those numbers are probably going to continue to escalate. And that's why it's important that we continue to do what we do each day.
Wow. Folks, I'm talking to Patrick Kane, who is the chairperson of the board of Schuylkill United Way, and Jeffrey Wesner, who is the chair for the 2014 campaign. They hit their goal, went over $2,000. We're hoping after the show airs in Schuylkill County that we'll get you a couple more $1,000, because I owe them $1,000 already, named it to 15 agencies. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. They raised $1,025,000, and that's the Schuylkill United Way. Remember, folks, you can watch any of our shows 24/7 on ssptv.com. My email is sam@ssptv.com. News for you who are watching us on Comcast 7. We will be on Comcast Digital Channel 190. Starting January the 7th. So put that down, make a note of that, folks. We'll be moving to 190 on January the 7th, and we hope that you'll be with us. Today, as I said, they raised $1,025,000 Schuylkill United Way. And their website, folks, so we're going to put it up, SchuylkillUnitedWay.org. SchuylkillUnitedWay.org, and you could also call them with your contribution at 570-622-6421. My guest today, Patrick Kane. He is the board chair, and Jeffrey Wesner, who is the chair for the 2014 campaign. Setting the campaign, okay, and working again, as I said, there are other things, okay, that the agency is involved with, okay, such as what are some of the other programs that United Way is involved with? Jeffrey?
Yeah, throughout the year we do various things. Two of our main ones, usually the first week of May, we have Day of Caring, which is where we get volunteers in the community to go out to the agencies who have certain projects such as painting or landscaping or anything to spruce up the agencies. And we do that on a voluntary basis. The other one we do each year is Stuff the Bus, which is where we get businesses and personal contributions, where we stuff a bus and we donate backpacks to some of the needy children in the community. And last year we stuffed over 1,200 backpacks, which is always the smile and the glowing faces that when you present them to the backpack, it's a pretty neat scene. So those are some of the other things we do.
And throughout the year, Patrick, are you involved other than board meetings? You do anything else? I mean, board meetings, how often do you have your board meetings?
Board meetings are almost monthly throughout the year. I think it's important that we stay on top of the information and the changes that are going on in the community. We have some corporate partnerships, such as Air Products, based in Hometown. They do a spring and a fall golf outing for us, specifically benefiting the Schuylkill United Way, and they also have a bowling event, which is very helpful, and it just shows air product and chemical support for the campaign and for the local community. So there's something going on through the year, and keeps us busy.
How is you also have other people that are major contributors, right? Wegmans,
right,
and the other companies that I mean, I'm sure every little bit means something, but we like to give some recognition to people that go over and above the call of duty. Are there any other companies?
Well, we're fortunate in Schuylkill County not only to hit our campaign, but to have a number of businesses and individuals who help lead the momentum. Air Products, I already mentioned, they've done a fantastic job for many, many years. Wegmans is up in the distribution center on 81. Their employees and their corporate campaign has been very vital to us since they've opened and they showed up locally. But you know, it's a campaign of individuals at the core. It's the employees of those organizations, and it's not just the big Lowe's and the Walmarts and the different corporations you might recognize. There's a lot of small to medium local-owned businesses like Bob Weaver Chevrolet, for example, that does a fantastic job carrying our message and expressing the importance. And also our agencies. We have some agencies that have special luncheons, like Child Development did for us this year, or they encourage their employees to contribute. So it's not one source, Sam. It's really a community momentum and a giving from everybody individually.
Now, how does one become involved if they want to, someone wants to volunteer? We have a lot of talented people in northeastern Pennsylvania and in Schuylkill County. assuming that the agencies that you mentioned, that I'd like to get involved. How does someone get involved with that, Jeffrey?
The easiest thing to do is either to contact their local agency that they'd like to get involved with, or if they're looking for a certain guidance or direction, they can certainly call the United Way office, and we can get them in touch with an agency that's looking for certain help in an area of their expertise.
The reason I say that is, like you said, your daughter was involved with one of the agencies, okay? And so there's some people that maybe not financially they can contribute, but they have a talent.
Correct.
And they'd like to be able to participate in any of the agencies. And sometimes, well, look, I really would like to give my talent. So that's an opportunity for them. So if there's an agency that they were affected by, they would go to that agency?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
And,
absolutely.
okay, other than coming to the United Way.
Well, I think the other thing they could do is if they haven't been affected, fortunately, our agencies are always reporting to us what's going on and what their need is, and we have a very dedicated executive director, Kelly Malone. She's right on Center Street in Pottsville at our new office. She's at 570-622-6421, and she would be a good guide to resource and say, I don't have $1 million to give you, but I have some time or I have a talent, and Kelly can then pair up these volunteers with the agencies that might need them.
Getting to the campaign itself and raising, how did you set your goal? I mean, was that based on the previous needs or previous year's needs?
Well, what we did was, as a board, we met and we tried to match what we did last year from a goal standpoint, but we also realized we needed to up the ante a little bit because we knew the demand and the increase was going to be going up as well. So in 2013, our campaign goal was 1,000,000 so me being a banker, I was a little more aggressive with the goal, and we said, okay, 1,025,000, and we'll meet again in January, and we'll start the thought process as far as what we're going to set for a campaign goal in 2015. But we got to keep up to date with the times and the need, and we don't want to sell ourselves short because there's too many people out there relying on us.
Most of it, the 65 or better percentage, is through employee deductions, correct?
Correct.
All right. So I'm working at a place, and I'd like to maybe, contribute $200, $300, but I'd like to take it so much from my paycheck. If a company is not involved with that, how, as an owner of a company or owner of someone, and someone says, look, could you take so much out of my paycheck to help the United Way? Is there forms that these people have to fill or do something?
We have a contribution form which the employees use at businesses that are generous enough to allow us to come and speak. And as you mentioned, Sam, those can be payroll deductions on a weekly, bi-weekly, and chop it up into small pieces.
Yeah.
But maybe there's an individual that doesn't have that angle, or that we haven't gotten a chance to have a campaign there. Kelly Malone, who I mentioned, has these forms, and we can bill quarterly or monthly or semi-annual if someone's interested in contributing that way. And you mentioned the 65% coming through the business side. I'd also like to take this opportunity to recognize the 35% that comes from individuals giving directly to us.
Yes.
It's called the Pace Setters Club. And the Pace Setters are individuals at a level of giving of $500 or more per year. We have an annual recognition reception for them. They're an important part of our campaign, but these are individuals, some retired, some maybe, just wanting to do something extra on their own. 35% is an important pillar of our campaign, and they also start the momentum of our campaign and report earlier than some of the businesses and the individuals you mentioned. So they're really a foundation for what we're doing, and we appreciate every one of them. We're up to 399 pace setters, by the way, this year.
I think people don't mind helping people making a donation as long as they see some results coming from that. So if someone's working and they say, look, I could take $5 a week out of my paycheck and give it to United Way, Schuylkill United Way, because I know that money is being used to help a lot of facilities. Now, assuming that you had Girl Scouts, for example, or someone's involved and they want to just designate someone wants to donate $500 a year out of their paycheck. Can I say, look, I want my $500 to go to Big Brothers and Big Sisters?
Yep. On the actual designation form where they fill out for their payroll deduction or their gift, on the reverse side of that, there's actually the 15 agencies listed with a corresponding 4-digit number, and they can just write that 4-digit number on the donation card, and that money will go directly to that agency of their choice.
You know, it's at one point in time, Kelly, I'd love to have some agencies to come on, because if you have the individual people who come on from these agencies, they'll tell you stories that'll, just rip your heart apart. My daughter-in-law is the president and CEO of the community site for the Blind Association, and because she's my daughter-in-law, I see exactly what she does. Okay, for these young kids who cannot see, and the people that they help in their homes to shop, to pay their bills, and that means the world to those people. Okay. And it's always a struggle, no matter what our agencies out there trying to get money, raising money for these things. So that's why I'm a strong believer in supporting as much as I can. But the United Way does a lot, folks. I'm talking to Patrick Kane, who is the board chair of the United Way, Schuylkill United Way, and Jeffrey Wesner. He's the guy that got the cash, and he's the head. Well, he didn't get the cash; he was head at the chair. But the goal was $1,025,000, and they got $1,027,000. I'm hoping after this show airs, we get another $5,000 for them. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Remember, all of you are watching us on Comcast 7 in the greater Pottsville area. We're moving to channel 190 January the 7th. So all of our programming will be moved from 7 to 190 starting January 7th. My guest today, folks, in the Schuylkill United Way, they hit their goal thanks to you. Thanks to all of you who are really seeing the benefits of Schuylkill United Way. Patrick Kane, who is the board chair, and Jeffrey Wesner, who is the chair of the 2014 campaign. As we talked about the individual agencies, okay, and you mentioned the agencies, every one of them do something. Every part of the county is important, okay? Tamaqua, for example, how involved is Tamaqua? How important is that to the United Way, being that you're in Tamaqua?
Well, we have a diverse county in terms of geography and population and businesses. And Tamaqua, as I mentioned, Air Products already is home to a couple of larger campaign beneficiaries. And Tamaqua raises about 10% of our annual goal. This year was $125,000. And through the activities, a number of board members, some of the agencies like the Salvation Army and the Tamaqua Y, keeping our name out there. We've got a great agency in the Meals on Wheels that delivers elderly shut-ins meals on a daily basis. Our presence is out there, and as I said, they do a good job going through that geography of Schuylkill County and helping us. And it's evident because the Tamaqua part of our campaign is usually done about halfway through the timeline. They're just so giving and they're so proactive.
You mentioned about the meals, okay, and here's another opportunity. I have a couple of very good friends who they retired, but they got involved in delivering the meals. They volunteered to, and it's a good thing because these are people that are seeing people every day that maybe these people wouldn't be seen by anybody. And God forbid something should happen, at least there's someone knowing that, hey, Sam's going to come here 5 days a week or whatever with a meal. And there's so many things. Giving to the United Way, is that tax deductible? I mean, is that, can you?
Certainly is.
Okay, so the reason I say that, before the end of the year, there may be people out there that just need a nice tax write-off, as long as we could take advantage of it. What a better way now to write a check out to Schuylkill United Way and say, look, I know it's going to, and designate it to where you want to go. It would be a great opportunity. Wouldn't you think so, Jeffrey?
It would be a wonderful way to end the season. And
I'm going to get you that extra $1,000, I promise.
We'll deliver on that.
Yeah. But I mean, it would be it's a good opportunity.
It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, some people want to give, but they don't know where to give it. Okay, right. And there's great opportunities here.
And they don't even have to designate a specific agency.
Yeah.
They can just donate it to the Schuylkill United Way, and then we would allocate the funds and disperse them appropriately.
And we're a 503c corporation. The money that is donated here, Sam, stays in Schuylkill County through the 30-member boards, through Kelly Malone, our executive director. Decisions are made in Schuylkill County to the 15 agencies in Schuylkill County. We also are proud of our low overhead budget. I think we're by far at 15 percentage points as operational expense. I think we're doing a much better job than some agencies you may also see on television advertising. And I think that's important to this campaign, that the contributions that you just mentioned, they're being used locally, and using our website, SchuylkillUnitedWay.org, you can see the work that's being done in the community.
Well, I could just see the look on some of your agencies, directors, et cetera. I know my daughter-in-law from the community is, for Sight would, when she gets a donation of $500 or $100 or $1,000, and she just sees how many kids and how many families she helps that they cannot see, okay? And it's just a great opportunity. Remember, folks, if you get an opportunity before the end of the year, if you'd like to do something that you know is going to stay in the Schuylkill County, give them a donation. It's Schuylkill United Way, and their phone number is 570-622-6421. Their website, SchuylkillUnitedWay.org. It's always a pleasure having you come on the show, and Kelly Malone, Kelly, right? I'm sorry. You're always welcome to bring whomever you want on the show. Okay, we'd love to have you. My pleasure. You're watching the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Remember, if you're watching us on Comcast 7, we're moving to 190 January the 7th. So I appreciate the great emails I'm getting from different areas, and I always appreciate your comments. If there's anything that you'd like me to cover in the Schuylkill County or Luzerne County, my email is sam@ssptv.com. I may not get to you within a day or two, but I definitely will get to you. We'll see you next time.